Hi, my name is Jude Matulich-Hall. Welcome. This is Titles, Talk, and Tipples. My guest today is Mari Stein, the writer of Nothing About This Is Easy, and Here Is Why.
Right.
Thank you, Mari, for joining me. So what are we drinking today?
You're drinking actually a really pale amber liquid right now.
Yeah.
Ice, which is melted.
Yes, mine's melting too.
It is the number one beverage that smells and looks as good as it tastes.
Yes. Yeah, a 12-year-old Scotch.
Oh, I didn't realize how. Yes.
Oh yeah, we can say how old it is, we can say what it is, but we can't say the brand names.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to. You could tell it's not rum.
Yeah, it isn't rum. Cheers. Yeah.
I touched up my nails too because they were hideous.
That's great. They match your shirt. And we're both wearing, is yours a fedora? Is that what that's called?
Well, no. This is, I forget. This is the Panama hat. The style is called urban. And so you could wear it like this, or you could wear it like this.
Oh, yeah.
And did you know we can roll these things up and put them in a box? There is a box, a little like coffee, holder thing.
Uh-huh.
And so basically any hat, as long as it's the right size, you can make this into anything. Like basically I think this way is closer to a trilby, but I don't really know.
Yeah. And you can roll that hat and not ruin it.
Yeah, you can sit on this hat and not hurt it.
Wow, that's amazing. Not this one. This one would get ruined.
And I am great for sitting things on my hats and sitting me on my hat. I seem to always have like some kind of a little nest thing going on in the corner where I sit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really stupid, and 90% of the time there's a hat there.
Yeah.
You never know, you might need a hat.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a little nest. This chair is huge, and so I don't tend to sit all the way back very often. Right. So I have like a sweatshirt behind me. I mean, I'll find my phone back there, a book.
I couldn't believe it. I found my writing today. I mean...
Oh, it's great. So you lost a story and you couldn't find it.
I told you that I did have a story to send, and then I told you I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the story, and it's back. So I have an individual story.
Oh, very good. Yeah, losing stuff we've written, I know that's hard on any writer. I mean, it's kind of devastating,
It really is.
Yeah.
And don't you, well, mine is always my own doing.
Yeah.
I'm mad at my work, and it's like, well, yeah, this is gone from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And my story about the spider, I didn't really write in 1985. I wrote, I don't know, like in 1970.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it wasn't any good. Oh. And so I put it in the back of the closet. Around 1985, I found it again.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
Yeah. But I do that with everything. I decided, oh, this is terrible. And my solution is always to hide it.
And so you didn't think it was a very good story, but you found it recently and you reread it, and it's a good story.
I did. And the same thing with the reception that I got in Writers Group about Dan Fulton, Detective Dan Fulton writes a story. I didn't get a very I didn't get a good reception, but now I started reading it again. It's actually good.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you find your own work,
Yeah.
and it's been the long enough time that it's almost like you're your own audience. You're not looking at it from a writer anymore. You're looking at it from a reader. Yeah.
And the only reason that I can understand that my book is even reasonably fluid is that when I did the book, I spent between 3 and 5 hours a day, every day for 6 days working on that book.
Yeah.
And you do get better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my publisher all the time is saying you're just going to get better. You just,
Yeah.
And it's like there's going to be a day where you look back at this first book. My deadline was yesterday. So it's very exciting. I handed in my copy edit, and he's like, there's going to be a day that you look back at this first novel and think, what was I thinking? But that's the process. It's not a bad process. It's just a process of growing and maturing and just getting better. And there'll always be a place in our hearts for our first stories and stuff, of course. But
And really, they have a certain amount of validity.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
But when I started at Writers Group, people would go, I think you have 2 stories here. I didn't know what that meant. Like,
Oh,
whose
yeah.
perspective are you writing from? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And what is your genre?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
This. And really, they guided me through, and it was so good because they don't write the stuff for you. That's what you find out.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong, but they are not going to fix it for you.
No. You are a writer on the spectrum. And
Yes.
so that's obviously a huge part of your life because it's been your life being on the spectrum.
Exactly. Yeah, it's amazing the coping skills that you wind up with.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
You explain a lot in your book, and I stayed up till midnight last night, or 12:30 last night, reading
wow.
through it. And I didn't get through the whole thing. It's such a. I'm not. I can read fast, but I don't like to read fast because I like to
Right.
absorb what I'm reading. And so I found I was like, oh, I'll just I'll get through this in a couple of hours. But it's so. It's so realism. It's based in realism, and
Right.
and I love your writing. I really adore it. And I was just like, nope, I'm just gonna. So I think I got through maybe a third of it, and just really enjoying each little story. Because it's a novel, but it's like each chapter is its own little story. So you can. Every chapter completes itself, and
that's like one of my close friends who knows my writing. She bought my book, and she said, "I'm just reading it one story at a time, so that I will have it, it's for so many more nights." Because she read it before she went to bed, and I thought, that was very nice.
Yeah. It's very poignant, it's so a lot of it is what a lot of people go through.
Right.
But what is it? Neurotypical people go through some of the same things. So there's definitely that place for compassion of understanding what you're going through. But of course, there's those other aspects of like, yeah, you don't have control over this. It just grabs you by the back of the neck and won't let go, right?
Exactly. Fortunately, I'm smart enough that I should say my friends are smart enough that if we're somewhere and I say we have to go now, they understand that now means now, and they will make a path for me.
Oh, that's
Thank
good.
God. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have avoided a great most meltdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been writing since at least 1970. So when did you start writing?
I really think, well, after the war protesting, I think,
Right, because you were big into politics, right?
right. And I was a big protester. I know it sounds ignorant to be so proud, but I was one of the people who knew when and where people were going to meet for the band to go to Canada.
Oh,
And that was, I was just honored. It's like, can't they see I'm here? Because that was secret, but yeah,
sure.
we were a truly fine bunch.
Yeah.
As our This is horrible. I'll probably cry.
Oh, that's
As
okay. Yeah.
our priest, who, there's always a priest
Hmm.
that's going to lead you in your peace marches.
Yeah.
Well, the person that I knew, that I had always given him a little bit of money. I got him a coat
Oh,
for the winter. He was a homeless person, and he would always talk to me about his raccoons.
hmm.
And, because he and his raccoons lived under the bridge. Well, our father Malone was murdered by him
Mm.
because he thought, because, he had some kind of a psychotic thing going on. And he thought father was going to hurt the raccoons.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it doesn't. I did stop giving him things before that happened, though, when he was standing out on 6th Street screaming at the top of his lungs, I love this woman.
Yeah. You're like, okay, that's enough. Wow.
God,
Goodness, yeah. So you helped people dodging the draft
indeed.
for
And
the
my husband,
Vietnam War.
exactly.
Wow.
And my husband was a conscientious objector and went through all of the stuff. It's not easy.
No, yeah, they put him through hell to be a
Yeah.
conscientious
Yeah.
objector. There we go. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? When I was a hippie, I wasn't odd. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
People
everything fit in, right?
fit in, and people you say, you're the most together person I ever met. Well, welcome to Aspergers. Because yeah, it's really in the way people see things, and really, people in the peace movement,
Mhm.
we loved each other. There wasn't any, how in a big group there's always like there wasn't, we were the
Tight.
group. We were an enormous group.
Mm. About how many people?
Oh God, and it's enormous to me. It's like 120.
Yeah, that's a lot of people to have in one place.
And one time when we were protesting, and I was on the corner protesting in the median strip,
Mhm.
and a flatbed trailer came driving through, cut the corner
Oh.
off because he was mad.
Mm.
If somebody hadn't pulled me back, I would be dead.
Oh goodness, yeah.
And to this day, I don't know who it was. I mean, I was just in such shock.
Yeah. You're standing up for peace and someone tries to run you over.
Right.
So your political career, wow, helping people dodge the draft and almost getting hit by a car and
Yeah, and I mean, because we would rally and we would read well, the priest would read the War Dead.
Hmm.
The new War Dead, since the last time we read.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ah, intense. It's great.
And
So
then,
you,
oh, and the FBI was photographing us, or somebody was, so we're all waving because we don't matter.
hi. That's great. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
you started writing after,
Yes.
after the war, after the Vietnam
Yes,
War.
after my work was done, before I got new work. Yeah, but my husband and I are both people who are making or writing something all the time our eyes are open. And
That's
so
great.
that worked out really well in the shop. I mean, we'll be making something and he'll go, look at this. Doesn't this look like a cookie? I go, oh yeah, let me call Spectrum and sell them the idea. It's like, ooh, something more to do.
Yeah. So what were some of the first things you wrote about?
Oh, this is interesting. Before I knew how to write, I wrote what things looked like from my side,
Mm.
but I phrased it. I was a bad writer, and I just took you right into my view of the world and traveled through the world as this odd stranger. And that's basically what I wrote, but it really just wasn't relatable. You
Mm.
know what I mean? When you read it again, I
Mhm.
think Annabelle is really the first good thing I wrote.
So everything that you've written, the book, Nothing About This Is Easy, and Here's Why. So some of those writings are from way back.
Yeah, yeah, they are. And I started my Aspie Path Facebook page, I think about 9 years ago.
Okay.
It's a mess. You know, it needs professional help.
You know, that's funny that you say that because my website has been sitting untouched for about a
Right.
year, and I think that's a lot of writers because we're writers. And so like I just got my website cleaned up and looking nice and and organized.
My blog is cleaned up, but it is not looking nice. It
Oh.
really, I don't know how to do that. And I know, you know what? I have a friend who's 80 and she has all of these books, Excel for Dummies.
Oh
I mean,
gosh,
she's
yeah.
brilliant. And I might get her to set up my,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some nice because you're through WordPress. I'm on WordPress,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't know. I'm just not a technological person, you know. I mean, people will tell me to do certain things on Facebook. I can't even figure that shit out.
Right, exactly. I
So,
don't like programs that are not intuitive.
yeah, and you know, they'll say these programs are intuitive, and I'm like, then I'm not intuitive because I don't get it. But I did finally figure out WordPress. And but it took like I had to actually look up articles because what I ended up doing was wiping out my entire website and I had to start over. And I was like, you know, there's got to be a way not to go through this. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it was simply just changing the theme. Like, you can't build your website and then try out themes because it
Yeah.
auto saves and then you can't switch back.
Yeah.
So I ended up like losing everything and starting over. I was so angry.
Trying to be clean.
Yeah,
You
just
know what I
clean.
mean?
Yeah.
Like not look like, like I know as little as I do. You know what I mean? I don't want it to look like that.
Yeah.
And I do believe in paying people for their work.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's a big deal.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah.
And send it to like your one place that's gonna take it for free.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The places that want art for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody who wants art for free can go to hell. Yeah, it's so rude. You wouldn't ask a plumber to come fix your toilet for free. You know.
God, no. You know what? That is exactly where I learned our stained glass principles. If somebody wants us to come out for an estimate, we charge as much, and just like the plumbers.
Nice.
And you know what? All you get from that is respect.
Absolutely, yeah.